Good afternoon, everyone. Welcome to What's on My Desk. How is everybody today? Um, I'm kind of, the stuff that was on my desk last week is mostly here. Some of it's gone because I did some fussy cutting. All the scraps that I had nicely sorted because I needed my desk to do Merry Monday and some other things. So I just kind of put it in here for now. So we use that instead of my normal scrap box because it was what's on my desk. This I'll talk about in a second. I still have this pile, and of course the week gathered some. Well, this was here, it was just hidden under a pile of stuff, so I put it to the top. And I have lots of envelopes because I got some happy mail this week, and I got this junk mail. I don't even know where I got this from. I think it might have come in my package. So of course I have those, but I'm going to pull those out because I want to, and I have something. So I have that, and I have more cereal packages because I've been on this cereal kick for the shredded wheat. But they make such awesome pockets. So I have that. This is just some, I just have to fussy cut that out. So I kind of tidied up my desk before I started, and I found all these lovely little, there's hearts in here, there's all kinds of little random things. I don't know why it was piled underneath a container all nice and neatly. Who knows what I was thinking when I did that. I also, something I came across when in all my cleaning, I had thrown these in my drawer and they slid to the back. I had made these ephemera little envelopes. So I'm going to end up filling those. And this one didn't end up as big. And I'm a little disappointed that it doesn't have another envelope. So I was trying to think of a way to add another one in there. Because I wished I would have. But that's okay. It can be a smaller one. And also, this paper, when you fold it, the quality, it's good quality. I mean, but it just does that. So I found those. Who knows when I started those? So I'm going to end up filling those up with ephemera and tags and all kinds of little things, and work on that as well. I did myself, I cleaned, I probably showed a little bit, my one side of my wall with all my cubbies. Eventually I want to get rid of the cubbies. I want to get tall bookcases. The cubbies limit the size boxes I can get in there, and then I always end up with a gap like this. I put my rolls of tulle in there for now, but I also took some cardboard file folders I bought a long time ago that I had my paper in, that I now put my extra paper in a bin and kept only so much out because it's getting color change because of the lights and things like that. So I took care of that. But those paper files, I get happy mail. I do a lot of swaps and things like that. And sometimes I forget to take pictures and that, but not because I forget, because when my desk becomes a junk, I open it up, I put it back in the envelope, and I put it down. So I made myself two little, well, it's got three because I put my wallpaper in one side. But right beside my journals, I have an in and out box. So once I take the picture and I upload it to Facebook, then it goes into the other side to be sorted. And I got to sort the rest into its spot. I'm hoping that'll help me with that. So we're going to work on some of this stuff. But before I talk too long, I have a question for you guys. I got this, I had got a big pink one, and I pulled it out because I keep forgetting about it. But there was pink like this. Now, I don't know, like I haven't used much of the green. Well, it was just a small piece of green, but I use a lot of this one. I had another, this was a big chunk. Is this curtains? Is what this is from? Like, I'm trying to find it so I can buy it because I love using this stuff, but I like hoard it because I'm not sure. Like, I know this for sure is a curtain because I remember my mom and my aunt having curtains like this. So I remember that, and I had tried to buy some, at the Goodwill, and they want it $10 a panel. And I was like, I can buy that brand new. So if it would have been $5 a panel, I probably wouldn't have minded so much, but they weren't big panels. So I'm thinking that's a curtain, if I'm correct. I'm not sure what this one is, or where I get, well, I don't have a fabric store here. And then I got this in Happy Mail just recently. Again, I like it because it's got a nice texture to it. And this is all I have left of this one. And I loved it because it's that beautiful cream. But I don't know, is this all curtains? What do they cut these from? Because I'm desperate for some more, so I need to go on the hunt. Like this one with the big flowers is beautiful. I need to go on the hunt for it, so I'm trying to figure out where people get this from. I know this is the old vintage lace curtains. I know that, and I'm thinking that this is too, but I'm not positive. Where do you guys find this stuff? Now, what I did is I bought a blouse from Wish. No, not Wish. In the box or something like that, and it never fit me. And they said, we'll give you a 30% discount if we don't refund it because it was more expensive. And I think the blouse was $8. So I'm going to cut off the sleeves and I'll get that beautiful pink lace. And then I even thought this fabric I could probably rip into things and use to tie bows. So that's what I'm thinking I'm going to do with that blouse. Just haven't broken it down yet. So I want to get a seam ripper so I can maybe open it up better. I don't know, or I'll just cut it if I get frustrated trying to find all those seams. So I know that's what I'm doing with that. But is this curtains? Is this blouses? How do you guys find it? I figured the lace curtains Goodwill. I've not been so lucky. And I don't even know, when I have wishes in my groups, I don't even know what to call it, to make a wish for it. So if anybody knows what I can call this so that I can make wishes for it, well, I've only got one where I live, a small little tiny Salvation Army, and it's not really good Salvation Army because it's a small little town. So I'm hoping to get out and have a lot of, from what I understand, there's not a lot of antique or used stores around here. So I want to try and see what I can find. So if you can tell me what to call this so that I can start wishing for it while I'm hunting. I'm hoping, I think a long time ago, my friends went in Quebec here. We have a ferry that goes across to like a little island. And I think if I remember them correctly, they told me it's a big flea market. And I'm going to beg them for us to go this year. One of the things I did in my fussy cutting, I've been trying to organize things as I go, even with my fussy cutting. Because sometimes my fussy cutting is, it's for different things, right? And I make them for, this is a digital I created. And I like these for collaging and doing little things with. My brain just froze. So I fussy cut. And I didn't want to put them in the clear envelopes because things. So I put them in this little storage thing. And I also do these ones. This is from, and again, so I put the pieces I made for it in the bottom, and then the ones I completed. This is from Leslie at 507 Willow House. She calls them twisted papers, and I'm not sure if she got that. No, she calls them twisted tangles, and I think she got this from Twisted Papers, and I forget the lady's name. It just slipped my mind. So these are ones I've completed the first time I made them. These are my first ones. So, it's for cuteness on journals, right? So you can just clip it, and it's got ribbon and lace. See, I left some, and she makes them in different sizes, and this is all tangled up. So maybe I need to find a new way of laying this. That one I'm going to have to fix. Come on. There we go. So there we go. And then I put a little, like a little button on it, so it can act like a charm. So, and I made tiny ones. And again, why that is in there. Oh, I guess that I could make that into a charm. So I have these. Oh, look it. See? Now I didn't go to the bottom. So what I need to do, these are all ones that are ready to make those twisted papers. So they need to go into the bottom. And as you can see, sometimes I use the scraps. I save some of the scraps, and I didn't want them the thin paper. So some of them I backed onto paper. And sometimes I collaged the back of it as well, so that when it's hanging there, it's not just white. So that was some of what I did in my organization. Is this was just sitting on my desk, and these were sitting in a pile in a little hole. So I just did that. And I'm going to find the lid to this, because I was keeping gems in here and I moved them out, and I hope I kept all the lids to this so that I can close that up, and then it'd be easier to sit. So that's some of the things, like when I was cleaning up, I did. As I was cleaning up what's on my desk, or for me it's in the boxes too, because bad habit. Oh, if you can see all the little boxes around that I'm trying to go through, it's crazy. It is crazy. And I'm terrible for starting new projects and throwing projects. I'll just show you just two before I start doing something creative. These two are sitting on a table behind me that I want to get rid of and only open up for when I'm tea dyeing, because it becomes a junk. See, it's got all kinds of stuff in it. Like right there, I have a tag in there that probably somebody made me. And so I need to go through that. It's all stuff people made me. So I need to get that into the right place. Who knows? And like, I got safety pins in there. I got scraps in there. I need to just take it out and clean it up. That's some of the goal I'm working on. And that's just, I have like, I would say I've got about 8 of those. And I want to organize them like I did the other ones. Like people who made me the tags, I want to put those in my tag boxes so that I can use them in projects. I keep debating, do I want to put them in things I'm selling, or do I want to make myself a journal of all the things? I keep some things that I don't want to part with, and it goes in a basket up there, but then it just sits in the basket. So I'm trying to decide what to do with it all. So I've just pulled out my tear ruler just in case I need it. Let me stand it up here. So let's start. I'm going to just pull from this pile for now. It's a combination of scraps and papers and junk mail, and slowly, I've got some nice papers under here that would be good to cover things with. So I'm just going to kind of stick it like that so I can see them. So I'm going to start with these. This, to me, I thought was a perfect size for a journal card. And why I got 3 of them, I don't know. Oh, this was from when I was ordering in Light in the Box. I stopped ordering from them because their shipping was high, and I found Temu with free shipping, so it was a better price. So let's just see what we have to cover this. This one I might just go ahead and cover it all in one solid color. What I also was worried about, if I do it, I'm going to have to use darker paper, and I'm not sure if my glue stick will work on the gloss. Otherwise I would have to cover it in some gesso, but I'm going to try to see. This is a brand new glue stick because I ran out of glue. So for this one, I'm just going to go ahead and stick this down. Nice and simple. What I'm going to put on it, I have no clue. But at least, even if I had it like this and sitting in my project box, at least if I'm doing things, I could pull it out and decorate it according to if it just needs to be embellished. I don't mind that, because a lot of times I do that. Because maybe, depending on the type of journal I'm doing, maybe I'm doing more a botanical one, and then I can, or where the pocket I want it in, maybe I've got already ladies in there and I want butterflies, or, or flower. So sometimes I don't embellish. I just cover it up in paper, or I collage on it, and I save the embellishing for when I pull it out. And I need to empty one of those baskets, because I need one for my journal cards, because I have one for tags, I have one for my pockets. I have a thing which I need to make is some envelopes. Like even this is, if I didn't have to cover, this for me would make a cute envelope as well. So some of those bigger scraps, easily that's what can happen with them as well. Did I pretty much... There we go. So, and sometimes I have a box with a lot of this stuff in, but it's on the other side. Well, it's on the other side of my desk, and it's not convenient to grab. So I need to start pulling it out, covering it, and putting it in those baskets. Otherwise, that box is going to keep growing. And then I just have a file folder over here with blank paper in it to cover, because I don't use my tea dyed, as I have said before, because it takes a lot for me to be able to tea dye downstairs, and I got to get that table. Right now I brought all the Easter decorations from downstairs, and I got to put them all away, because I've got to pull out the 2 bins, open them up, and do that. That's going to be later this afternoon. And then I got to get the Christmas tree box out and get the Christmas tree put away till Halloween, because I do seasonal tree till now. I know some people keep it up and do 4th of July and that. I don't. After Easter it goes. Well, we don't have 4th of July here, Canada Day. By this time I'm all decorated out. So I'm gonna get the Easter stuff put all away today, which will take a lot off that table. And I debate taking the table down, because like right now I've got some books piled on it and things like that. So I got to find a place to put more of my books. What I'm thinking I might do with some of my books is take a few pages out that I would use maybe to put in journals. And I already have kind of a folder like that. Did I not bring it? No, I didn't. I grabbed almost everything else except for this. I'm getting better at moving my stuff over here. But as I was getting ready, my friend upstairs, he came down to have a little chat, because he was on his lunch break and he ate his lunch. So he came down to chat for a few minutes. So I was setting up the desk while he was chatting. So I was also trying to listen and think of everything I needed to put on my desk. And this one I went ahead and I didn't heavily ink it, but so basically I could go ahead and decorate this if I wanted to, but I'm not. I'm going to leave it like this, and I got to find later. I haven't even put the pockets away that I made. I put some away, but see, I still got some of the pockets sitting here. Well, this came out because in Junk Journal Craft and Chat, I'm doing I'm calling it a pocket box or a pocket basket, depending on what you keep it in. I keep mine in a basket, but I also told people if you don't have a basket, take a box, which sometimes I use as well, especially Amazon when they send me small boxes. And I use that a lot, and I collage the front of it. So, this is part of something else that it can't go away. And of course, those are those pockets from, what's her name? Oh, from the cereal. And then this is a one that I did in the group as well. But I put them out. I didn't put them in the pockets because they're loaded and I want to do something with them. See, again, it could go in here, but it's so much of the same, right? But so they haven't gone away because I want them for specific reasons. But for me, my pocket box is pretty full. So I got to start using some of them. This week is just cleaning. I'm not, well, I was watching something, or I saw something in Pinterest and I liked the idea. She did it different because she used scrapbooking paper. She has beautiful scrapbooking paper. I don't have the colors she has in scrapbooking paper, or I might have did that. But again, I had, oh, sorry, that's not going to tear. So I was in a weird mood last night. I wasn't at first, and even those took me a long time to do because I wasn't feeling very creative. I was having a bit of a headache in that. And so I tried something new with my punches, and I used some of the scrap paper. I was just using pink pearls on them, so that's why it's in there. So sometimes when I'm working on something, I put them in here. So I've got 2 that I got to finish here. But look at how cute these are. Now, she did it differently. I did mine a bit different. She didn't have fabric in hers or lace. I like, because I want the shabby. So I made these. Look at how cute they are. Aren't they cute? And I did, those are my letter words. I went in and created those. And look at these little hearts. So I took some of my scraps that are laying around on my desk and punched these. Wouldn't they be just cute and little embellishment? And again, they're cute even in a cluster in different things. So I made some of those from some of the scraps, and I punched out some of, because I have this scallop punch. I wished I had a smaller one. What I found is she made these cute ones with 2 different circle sizes, but I have a tiny circle and then a bigger circle. I need a medium-sized circle. And then I got this stamp, and so a punch, so, and she didn't use flowers. I put some flowers on there, and I was making those last night. And even those sometimes took a long time for my thoughts to come together. And I'm going to be doing some more of those. I thought they were really cute. It's like a cluster, but I've never made like, it's just with punched out more. And this was a scrap piece of paper from a book, and I just made a little flag. So that was a lot of fun to do. And as you can see, I've got a couple more I punched out, and I have them set, and I just got to do my lace. But see, this is the project. See, I've got my things I was using in the basket, and that way it sits neatly on my desk. But that was a lot of fun. And even that, just because I have this out, if I wanted to make a sideways, like even this could turn into a pocket, right? And then I could take one of these. Look at how nice that goes on it. If I wanted as a journal card, I could do that. This is these are a little smaller, but even if I was doing a pocket, it would be cute as a pocket on a pocket. So like this could be a pocket as well if I wanted it to be. But right now I'm putting it in my journal card box when I get one. So I'm just leaving it like that. I'm not gonna, see what I mean? Depending on what I want to use it for. So I just get them ready like this. So we'll put that up over there. Let's grab another one of these so we can get them off my desk. This paper, but if I did in the middle, but then I'm also going to create a scrap, but I kind of want a combination. colors I don't use, but I soon I want to do a botanical. I think I want to give myself, try and get it. I love shabby chic, purples and pinks and creams, and so I'm trying to do blues and yellows now, trying to get out of my, so I was thinking I could, because originally I put, they were small, but if I do half and half, but how much scraps am I going to create on this? But I like it. I like it. So let's do this. We're not going to overthink it. We're just going to do it. And then I have a whale tail sitting here because, again, I got some orders for whale tails in my my shop, Purple Hearts Creations by Chrissy. It's a Facebook group, but it's my shop. For now, I can work out better shipping than Etsy does. I try to keep my costs down, and if I have to pay Etsy to list my stuff and all that, then I feel like I can't give better prices, and the shipping on Etsy, they control because you have to put the measurements and the weight, I guess. I don't know. I haven't truly figured out Etsy, but I just like doing my Purple Heart Creations. Then I can, if people buy more, like sometimes like for shipping, I have labels I make. Let's say I do these, and I think I sell them in sets of 30. And I have different styles. If I see, this one is a little light, but I don't think it's, now see, I created scraps, but that's okay. That's okay. This one, there we go. We're going to end up using that to cover that one up. Oh, lots of greens. Greens and yellows. Didn't I put that paper all the way? So let's go in here. Sometimes I just do that. Oh, see, I hope, again, when I go to use it and I find that glue isn't holding, I will then, but I think it is. It's just, I didn't hit that corner well enough. So for instance, if you're buying 30, I have so much for the shipping for 30. But if I have to add another 30 to it, the shipping isn't going to be double that because of the way I'll package it. So then I work out a better shipping. So I try to do a lot of that so that I can do more of that in my group. I don't have to pay Etsy. Yes, Etsy doesn't necessarily get me more people, because if I'm new sell, oh, look what I did. Shoot, I know what I'll do. I forgot to check on that, so I'm going to be use that, so I'm not going to put it all the way over there. When you make little silly mistakes, there's a way to fix it. And see, it's almost fixed. And I missed that corner again. I always miss one corner at least. So, two things I can do with this. Maybe when I ink it, it might be enough. Yep. So, because I had to trim most of that off, it worked out for me. So, I was lucky. Or if I wanted to, I could have taken a thin washi tape and just added a little bit to the bottom. I wouldn't have like recovered the whole thing. I would have just did something creative on the back of it. But I don't have to worry about that because when I trimmed it up, there wasn't much of it. So now I might end up collaging this more. You never know. I might, when I'm doing it, come in and add something like this into it. Never know, I might take a strip of washi tape just to add a little more pop. It just all depends. I might be putting lace on it. That's a lot of times why I don't embellish them. Then when, depending on how I use it, would depend on how I finish up the rest of it. So there we go. There's another one done. And it's also getting rid of a piece of scrap. I do not know why I printed that. I do not know what was in my head when I did that. Where did I put the other card? There was a third one. I'm losing my mind, guys. Did it slip down in the scrap box? Because I had set them here just so that I could see them. Okay. Oh, there it is. So there we go. You know, yesterday I did my video for Merry Monday, and I did it late in the day because I did my hair. I colored my hair and all that, and that takes time, and showered and got all that out, and so used up a good part of my day, and I did some tidying and things like that. And so I did, and then I did my video, and then, which I did it at 4 to 5, and then I ran upstairs and I cooked dinner, and cleaned up dinner and came downstairs, and I didn't know what, I wasn't feeling creative at all, and I have to, because I've got some ephemera holders that I sell in my store that I've got to make, but I don't know, I just was feeling like just sitting there doing nothing. And so I was watching a bit of YouTube hoping to get some inspiration, and then I saw, and looking through Pinterest, and I was in that, on the moon, I would say. I was on the moon. I couldn't get myself organized enough to do anything. And that's when I started, and I just came across that, and I thought, oh, let me do this for a little bit. And even that took me hours to do those little, and it doesn't usually. I just was not feeling it last night. I should have just pulled out fussy cutting. A lot of times when I get like that, I'll just pull out my file folder of fussy cutting and fussy cut, because I'm trying to get that caught up and get that organized to make it easier when I'm creating, and then to get my baskets organized. Ooh, I'm falling off my chair again, guys, you know. Okay. These are technically not colors I do, but I'm also thinking of putting together 3 or 4 packages. I think 3 packages I'm going to put together of some of the stuff I made on what's on my desk, and then add maybe some fussy cuts in it so that you can finish them off. And for people who comment and like my video, I'm doing this just spur of the moment. Didn't plan to do this. So anybody who comments and likes my videos, especially comment and like, because that's really, or subscribes. And because you can't just like it for me to be able to do it. You have to comment, because it doesn't show me who likes it. It doesn't give me a name. But if you comment, it tells, I get, of course, see it. And then probably in 2 weeks, I'll take all my comments and all new subscribers, and send you a little package of finished projects from what's on my desk. And I'll add a few little extras. And so please like, comment my videos. Subscribe is great too. Ring the bell, and that way you'll get notifications when it comes on. I use the hashtag what's on my desk. So if you have Instagram and you decide to clean up some of your desk and you create something from your desk of clutter, tag me in it in Instagram. on Facebook, and we may not be friends. If we're friends on Facebook, perfect. Or if you're in Junk Journal Craft and Chat, because a lot of my videos, some of my videos that I do go also upload it to them for events or challenges we do. And right now we have a pocket box or basket challenge going on, and I'm looking for unique pockets. And so there we go. There's another one. And since I have 3 of these, that could be, there we go. Okay, let's see what else is in this pile. Of course, that's the paper we were working on. I'm just going to sit it under here for now. That's there. I've got lots of... Now, I don't know why I cut this so short, what I did, why I did that. But a lot of times I don't do a lot with these because I need to find a box. Oh, excuse me, that was awful. This would be good for those clusters I'm doing. I will turn this into a cluster. So I'll build a cluster with it and have it sticking out sometimes from the cluster. So that's what that'll be used. So sometimes I don't cover it. Sometimes I cover it. I'm going to go ahead and cover it. I'm going to look for something, since that what I'm doing over there is I might go with a nice neutral. But I'm seeing if I have a smaller neutral scrap. Maybe that big enough. Now I'm going too big of scraps. I thought maybe might be something back here. It's too... Trying to use up those scraps that are hanging around in this box. I have so many scraps, so many scraps. I'm getting overwhelmed with my scraps right now. One part of me wants to take some of the scraps and make homemade paper, but I'm not sure I'm ready for that mess. It's too small. But it's not going to, that one won't really suit the shabby chic that I'm going with. That could easily be, that could be. Then I'm thinking, why not? See what I mean? Sometimes you'll debate something and doesn't quite fit, or I would have used that. See, some of this is great for those scrappy twisted tangles. That's a perfect one for it. Okay, I think I'm thinking about this way too hard. Way too hard. Way too hard. I'm thinking about this. This is supposed to be just get it done with, and I'm overthinking it. So I'm seeing what's in my paper over here. And see what I've got here. Let's see if it fits on that. Yep, there we go. I'm just going to trim the white off so that I don't make that silly mistake again. I'm thinking too hard on this. And I'm not going to cover the back, because if I use it in a cluster, I won't worry about the back. And that's probably what I'll end up doing. Just want to clean some. I need to get a little garbage can that sits here. And then at the end of my videos, empty it. Okay, so I'm just going to glue this. And I'm not going to punch the hole in it. I can decide to do that if I want to put lace hanging from it, but I probably won't. But I will trace around it. I mean, cut around it. Just trace, cut. Let's make sure this is down. I need to do that more when I'm doing with the glue stick, because sometimes the glue sticks take a few minutes before they catch really well. And I think this one just doesn't have enough glue. I want to use my teeth and I got to stop doing that. Glasses down. Believe it or not, once I cut this out, I'm going to put it in that basket of those things so that, because I think I'm going to end up seeing if I can use it in those creations that I'm trying. I know I can do it in clusters. That's not a problem. And I think it will look cuter with a hole punched. Or if anything, what I can do too is I would just chop off the top if nothing else comes to mind with it. So there's little things. So I'm just going to put that over in that box because I'm going to see if I can work on that in that way. Now, I don't know about you guys, but I get a lot of these squares and I don't know how I get them. So two things sometimes I do with this. I'm just going to grab the things I would use. I want that. And I don't know where oh, it's in the drawer. But I don't know where I put that one ink pad that I especially want. Well, that's weird. I have an ink pad that I use a lot for my stamping because it gives me a nice dark color. Aha, found it. Right here. Oh, back in my chair. So sometimes what I do with these, this one won't do it because it's just a little too small. So I'm going to come back to that in a second. I'll show you what I do with these. These are cutoffs from file folders. So I was probably making tags and this might have been the little square left over. This is probably what happened. And I just got thrown in a pile. Sometimes they're straight, sometimes they're not. I'm just taking off the fuzzies. I'm going to have to sweep the floor again already. So, I mean, this is a nice cream, so I'm not worried about it. I don't know why I'm worrying about that because I'm going to punch. So a lot of times what I'll do, now I'm going to still get scraps from this, but sometimes I don't worry about those scraps. I'm not doing anything, so come on. So I make these little tags and I do several different things with these tags. Sometimes I put them in, and again, this is something where I don't know where to put these things, how to take and box them, or separate them into categories. Because sometimes I use them in cluster making, but they don't need to go in this is not quite wide enough, but that's okay. I'm just gonna, and then I just do that with them. And now I could do two things with these. I'm just going to ink around it and I'm going to take and use. This is a good ink. I'm going to try to go on the hunt for this, well, it's Ranger again, archival ink. I really like it. But what it's good is that it's waterproof. So it's a permanent let's do that. Again, these are great. I like using them in clusters. They can sometimes even in a little pocket in a journal. It can be nice. Sometimes also, like, I didn't even think about it. I could have taken this stamp and just stamped on it. Right? So, you know, I could even do that with it if I wanted to. Take a little stamp. This is new. This one came from Temu. Ooh. Oh, it's one big stamp. Ew, it's one big stamp. Sometimes I cut these myself. But it's going to be hard to cut that. Oh no. Ooh. But I might end up cutting these myself. Because it'd be impossible. I would never do a stamp fully in that. It would be not something I would do. Oh, that's going to be, it's not easy to cut. It's nice thick. So I'll just come in and it's those little ones to the bottom. And I'll just cut it myself. Might have been a fluke. It might have, you know, things happen sometimes even in machinery. All right, so that's that one. So I'll just fix it myself. I might lose one. That's my biggest fear. Because some of them are very close together. Like this one in here. But I managed it. Well, you don't want to watch me do that anyway, so we'll do that later. I'm just trying to figure out how to get these little ones. Now those are attached, so that's together. But because I want that one, do I just cut around it? This is not easy. I just want this one right now, guys. Sorry. I'm going to leave the little C2 on there because I don't have to necessarily, because I'll lose that little C2. This is, I knew would be the difficult part right in between these leaves because they're that close together. Now I've ordered a few more stamps from them, so I'm waiting to see if this is would be an ongoing problem with them. But that's okay. It'll still work. Let's just do that. I'll just close this up for now. And I'm going to take this and I'm going to do it in, of course, a darker color. Oh, we're going to have to make sure. I shouldn't be using my fingers. I should be using a cloth. There we go. And you can do something like that with it. That was just a spur of the moment. Sometimes I leave them just the way they are. I used to keep these just like this. And I do this with like my cardstock I have left over. If I have white cardstock, I don't care if it's white. I can take and ink it up. And I used to keep these just in a little tiny envelope beside my desk, and I'd pull them out and use them for different things. So that's something you can do with little pieces like that. Now these little pieces are great. What I like to do with these, where did that? up here. I always keep that one on there because I use it a lot. So I just always, so with this, so this could be used in clusters. The word went right on my mouth. But also what I like to do with these sometimes is, I know there's a piece falling at my feet. Let me grab a piece of it. I'm just going to pull out my box here. I sell Scentsy, so these whiff boxes come in handy. This has to be cleaned. It's a mess. But I have little boxes inside that have it. I need to clean it. Desperately need to clean it. Let's put it that way. And reorganize it. I think I just started throwing things in it. It got out of control. See, again, I got this one. That's all I have left of it. And it's great. I might take a piece of that. So, and it's, so I'll cut up some little pieces of fabric. It's more for clusters that I use that for. Now you may not want, again, you could cover the back of that with ink stamp if you wanted to, so that it wasn't just a plain backup. But I'm not worried about that. I know which one will help. I get this one just from our Dollarama here, and I love it because it's a nice sturdy lace. So sometimes it becomes, a lot of times, some bases for my stuff. Especially when, like this, I don't want really that yellow to be the prominent thing in this. And so I'm going to so then I just start layering some different laces, and this is some tulle. And these, what I'll do is keep them to the side. And I think I have a little piece here that I can throw that on. Didn't I pull out white, a cream lighter color? I thought I did. Here we go. Take a piece of this. My kitty's asleep on my couch. She's snoring. She's so cozy. Oh, that slid off. Now, sometimes I don't always put everything right in the middle. So I might add a little of that lace to the bottom. And see this little piece. I got this little piece. Instead of throwing it in that box, and I've stopped doing that, I do these little, I keep these little tiny clusters for different things. So what I'll do instead, and now this will be a little too big. And sometimes I just sew buttons on these. So I will automatically, because the way I cut that one piece, go ahead and use it instead of throwing it back in here in this terrible mess I have. I could keep it all neutrals, but like I said, I do a lot of pinks. So, and I do have this rose gold pink that is in it, but it doesn't stand out as super pink. See, again, I've got that little scrap, so I might, and I have these scraps on my desk. So why not use them up, right? And I have this sitting on my desk. So that should go in that box instead of putting it back there. Let me grab my staple. If I wanted to have this pink take a little piece of this pink. The one I was working on isn't the one I finished yet. And what I do is I take it, I staple it, and I can do several things with this. Sometimes I sew a button onto it for just a little thing. I make smaller hearts, little what's called scrappy hearts. I can put it on it. It can be on the page, top of a page. Also with that, where did I put them? Here. Let's say I didn't, sometimes I'll take that, I won't have that whole, and I'll put it with the tab. I would ink that up, whatever, and I will turn it to a page tab on the page as well. I've done that where I've just taken the tops of, chopped off the top, use some of the scraps up. So I use that in different ways. I can do the same with I'm totally like losing my thoughts, guys. I have this tab one, so sometimes I'll add it into it. I'll just shorten the edges up, and so I'll use sometimes those type of things. And I just keep those. I just have them ready to be however I want to use them. And the same with this size. I keep all kinds of different sizes of these, and I really use them quite often. This one I want a little bit bigger pink. I'm getting low on pink, so I'm like, I've been doing so much pink. But I'm going to take this ribbon I get at the Dollarama too, and I like it because it looks like it was fabric or part of a curtain. I'm just doing that so I can put that on top of there. I'm just trying to pull out something close by to use up those scraps. Whoop. Something's falling. It's always falling. I'm just looking at ribbon that's sitting out. You could also in these take some material as well. I'm not cutting these. I love these hankies and I don't know what to do with them. I don't think I want to cut them up. I think I might make a nice front to a front cover. Someone found those for me and gifted me those, a family member. I was just thinking, do I want to put that pink to the back and leave the cream to the front? Kind of thinking I won't like that idea. So let's see here. This would be too big. Got a little too much of it. So like that. Just a hint of it. And there. I wished I would have made it a little bigger to hang over this side, but then I could always easily add that in there. And then I don't glue anymore. I used to glue all these, and then I found I don't like the glue because I like it to be loose. And there we go. And that'll sit in that box. Again, I'm going back to this, and I'm going to take a piece of this cream one. I don't even know how long we've been on for. Well, we did a few things with the little scraps that are on the desk, right? It's what's on my desk. It's on my desk. So this is part of it. Those are scraps sitting on my desk. Okay. Now I don't like that in there. I don't know if it's because of the way I cut it.